Flowers and sandal paste were placed before the master in a flower basket. He sat on his bed and worshipped himself with these offerings. Sometimes he placed flowers and sandal paste on his head, sometimes on his throat, sometimes on his heart, and sometimes on his navel. Monamohan of Konnagar came in and took a seat after saluting the master. Sri Ramakrishna was still busy with the worship of his inner self. He put a garland of flowers on his own neck. After a while, he seemed to be pleased with Monamohan and gave him some flowers. It was about 9 o'clock in the morning. The master and M were talking. Shoshi was also in the room. Master to M. What were Narendra and Shoshi talking about? What did they discuss? M. To Shoshi. What were you talking about? Shoshi. Was it Niranjan that told you about it? Master. What were you discussing? I heard God, being, non-being, and so forth. Shoshi, smiling. Shall I call Narendra? Master. Yes. Narendra came in and took a seat. Master to M. Ask him something. To Narendra. Tell us what you were talking about. Narendra. I have indigestion. What's there to tell you about? Master. You will get over your indigestion. M. Smiling. Tell us about the experience of Buddha. Narendra. Have I become a Buddha that you want me to talk about him? M. What does Buddha say about the existence of God? Narendra. How can you say that God exists? It is you who have created this universe. Don't you know what Berkeley says about it? M. Yes, I do. According to him, esse is percipi. Footnote. The existence of external objects depends on their perception. Footnote ends. The world exists as long as the sense organs perceive it. Master. Nangta used to say, the world exists in mind alone and disappears in mind alone. But as long as I consciousness exists, one should assume the servant and master relationship with God. Narendra to M. How can you prove by reasoning that God exists? But if you depend on faith, then you must accept the relationship of servant and master. And if you accept that, and you can't help it, then you must also say that God is kind. You think only of the suffering in the world. Why do you forget that God has also given you so much happiness? How kind He is to us. He has granted us 3 very great things: human birth, the yearning to know God, and the companionship of a great soul. All were silent. Master to Narendra. I feel very clearly that there is someone within me